Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. Yesterday, O.J. Simpson was granted parole by the Nevada Parole Board. And while I'm no fan of O.J. Simpson, personally I believe he's an Uncle Tom and a complete sellout who has walked away from the black community and has had nothing to do with it. I understand that the game is chess, not checkers, and I see a big picture filled with danger for your O.J. Simpson. Now, your O.J. Simpson believes he's going to go and live with his daughter Arnell in Florida once his parole is over. What your O.J. Simpson doesn't understand is that he may not even get out of that prison, because when it comes down to inmates and the days that they count down their parole, those are some of the most dangerous times for an inmate. And an inmate must watch themselves in those last days before parole, because that's when people are going to try to start with you. That's when people are going to get in your face. And that's when you may wind up getting set up to do by somebody that winds up costing you your parole. So your O.J. Simpson is right now in a high-risk situation. Moreover, he is in higher risk not only because of people starting with him, but there may be people who may be out to shank him in that prison, because that's how prisons operate. In the days before a guy winds up getting released, that's when a lot of your fellow inmates start getting jealous and start looking for ways to take you out. And O.J. Simpson, he's been in this prison for a while, but I don't think he understands how dangerous a period that is when a guy, just before a guy is about to come out, because that's when guys start getting angry, guys start getting jealous, and that's when they start making plans to jeopardize your parole or even try to kill you. And then after your O.J. Simpson, if he is released in October, that's when he really has to start watching out for himself, because O.J. Simpson is an infamous celebrity, and his infamy leads to him having a huge target on his back. Many white people still hold a grudge against your O.J. Simpson, and many believe that he is responsible for the deaths of your Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, and feel that it was an injustice that he was acquitted for those crimes way back in 1995. And because they feel like this is a travesty of justice, many of these angry white people have a plan to kill your O.J. Simpson and avenge the deaths of your Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman. So your 70-year-old O.J. Simpson needs to understand, once he gets out of that prison, there's going to be a target on his back and a whole host of people looking to start with him, whether it be a store owner or a police officer as he's driving down the highway. And they're going to be looking for any sort of reason to kill him so that they can get even and get so-called justice for your Nicole Brown and your Ron Goldman. Moreover, they're going to be looking for any minor infraction to bring O.J. in on for what they believe was this travesty of justice. So your O.J. has a huge target on his back. So that's why your O.J. has to watch out for himself. Now, if your O.J. Simpson is a critical thinker and has a little bit of a brain in his head, he'll understand that he has to be very careful, not only in that prison right now, but once he gets out in October, because that's when that target is going to get bigger. And when you go to a state of Florida, which is really a racist state, you have to understand that you are in enemy territory. And when you're in enemy territory, you are considered a threat to everyone. Your 70-year-old O.J. Simpson may appear to be an old, feeble man, but to most of these racists out here, he is being seen as this black brute who they want to go out and lynch. So your O.J. Simpson, when he goes out here, he has to understand the danger that he's in. He may have actually been better off in prison than he is coming out here, because coming out here, they have a whole host of people looking to get even for those deaths and are still angry about the deaths of that Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman, and still are harboring anger almost 20 years later over that whole O.J. Simpson murder case. So O.J. Simpson is not out of the woods by a long shot, and he's actually in a lot of danger right now. And when we come down to this parole, he has to be very careful because there will be cops looking to come after him on the most minor of infractions. Anything from a riding in a car with a broken traffic light to having an open container of beer out on a street corner. They'll be looking for anything to bring him back and say it's a parole violation so they can bring him back to prison and find some way to finish destroying your O.J. Simpson, because they want revenge and they really want to mask it as justice. So they're looking for any reason for him to act out so they can murder him and then say that their vengeance is justice. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.